see in others' happiness. It's such a great quality you have. Deepak.
Ready? Rolling. Camera roll. Action.
Hello, I'm Tulika and welcome to the first episode of Coffee with Top CAs. Here we'll know more about top CAs of our country, life, their career, their journey till today. And today we have Deepak Kini, who's Senior Director of Finance with Gap Inc. Deepak, welcome to our show.
Yeah, thanks, Tulika. It's my privilege to be here.
So let's start. So Deepak, where did you make your grand debut on Earth and what did your parents do?
I was born in Secunderabad. My father had a very tough upbringing. He lost his father at the age of 8. However, he managed to complete his education through scholarships because of his brilliance and through support from his family members, and completed his mechanical engineering in the early 60s. Post that, he joined Indian Oil and continued to work in Indian Oil Corporation for over 30 years. His job was transferable, so he moved from one city to another, but it actually helped us understand the Indian culture very well. So we moved from Bombay to Chennai to Secunderabad to Ratlam to Pune to Bombay. My father sacrificed his career for me and my younger brother. He refused his promotions because he felt that being in Bombay will help us in our education for both me and my brother. And that's how we stayed in Bombay for a long duration. My mother was a homemaker, but her life revolved around me, my brother and my father.
Humble upbringing and humble background, Deepak, and still you managed to get here. That's commendable. What inspired Deepak to enter the world of numbers? How did you take this brave decision?
My father had told me and my younger brother that if we get 85% up, we can take up science, otherwise take up commerce. So it was luck by chance that we took commerce, and both of us liked being commerce graduates. So I liked finance as a topic. I used to love accounting those days. Gradually, because of my friend circle, realized that it's better that I pursue my chartered accountancy. Completed my graduation, got a good score during my graduation. I was lucky to get selected for my articleship with A.F. Ferguson, which is now Deloitte. And post that, I was able to complete my CA. It was a good journey. I was studying hard at that point of time because the pass percentage those days was only 2%.
I believe that working in a multinational company is very fancy these days. People aspire to work in a multinational company. So, how did it happen? Did you just think one day that I'll conquer the corporate world, or what is the story behind it?
Oh, I was very lucky again. I had a good friend called Subhash Pillai. So he had seen an ad for an industrial trainee of PepsiCo. So he had applied for it. He had gone for an interview. So he told me that PepsiCo is looking for a lot of young chartered accountants. So I just faxed my CV to the CFO of the market unit at that point of time, Ranjit Jatar. So he immediately called me and he asked me how did I know about this vacancy. I told him Subhash Pillai is a good friend of mine and he told me about this vacancy. He told me that we had misplaced Subhash's CV and we didn't have a way to contact him because this was pre-LinkedIn era and pre-social media era. So both Subhash and myself got selected in PepsiCo and had a wonderful career there. So it's luck by chance is what I'll say.
So, do you believe in divine intervention? Do you believe in God? Or do you think that you are the magician who can make his own life?
No, not Tulika. I believe there's someone up above. I believe in God. I believe in luck. I've been able to conquer a lot of challenges in life because of my belief in the divine soul.
So Deepak, we all have had some epic failure from which we would have learned something. Is there anything in your life, or do you want to share any failure which you would have which changed you as a person?
So the biggest failure of my life was when I was a CFO of a division in my earlier company. At that point of time, there were a huge number of challenges which kept coming in. So the first challenge was there was a consignment of ours which got hijacked. There was another consignment which got stuck in the port due to the draft level of the water. So I realized that the governance and the processes which I was handling at that time was weak. So I started focusing on governance and processes. And second was alignment. People feel that aligning takes a lot of time. But I started believing from that time that alignment is critical, because you bounce off a critical decision with somebody who's senior, somebody who's superior, somebody who's seen the life more than you. So that was my learning from this particular episode.
Great, great. It's great to learn from your experiences, and that makes you grow as a person. What makes you happy? Is it like binge watching a show on Netflix or taking a walk? Or so a lot of Gen Zs are watching, so they want to know what do you do in your free time, and what makes you happy?
Happy when India does well. I feel happy when any of my direct reports do well. I feel happy when any of my ex-direct reports, anybody who's worked with me does well. I love to help people. I love to solve complex problems and tasks, which helps me motivate myself and be happy at the end of the day.
Wow, being happy in others' happiness is such a great quality you have, Deepak.
Thanks.
My next question is, Deepak, what keeps you going every day? Is it a cup of coffee or your ambition or anything else?
I'm not ambitious as a person. However, I get motivated by doing my day job. I love my job. I love doing what I do, and I've always done that. In fact, I've not taken sick leave for close to 30 years in my career. Unfortunately, in October 20, I got COVID. Because of that, I took my first sick leave. I love to work with youngsters. I love to help them solve their problems. I guide them, but ultimately what I've learned is I leave it to them to solve that particular problem. So it's helped me a lot in the last few years. I keep them motivated. I keep talking to them, and that's the reason I like spending time with them in office. There's a lot of flexibility which the company provides today, but I feel that having a personal interaction and working together really helps me. I keep myself motivated through that by working with youngsters on a daily basis.
Awesome, Deepak. For those of you who don't know, Deepak was my super boss at one point in time, and we all loved his quality of motivating people. We were very happy working with him. So thank you, Deepak. So mental well-being is very important, Deepak. And what do you suggest to our youngsters to have a good mental state, be it meditation or pursuing some hobbies or taking a walk in the park? What do you suggest so that they can benefit from this conversation?
I'll say what I do. Both me and my wife, we actually get up early in the morning, go for a walk. I pray on a daily basis, even while walking or while driving. I also watch a lot of podcasts of my favorite podcasts of WTF by Nikhil Kaman. I watch a lot of podcasts of Basant Maheshwari and a podcast called Motley Fool Money. I watch a lot of sports which keeps me engaged, and I believe in continuous learning.
Awesome, awesome. So, Deepak, if you were to talk to your younger self, what will you talk and what will be the advice to your younger self? Very serious kind of advice like invest in bitcoins, or will it be like change your hairstyle?
I think I would take life much more easier. Now when I think in hindsight, I'll give an example of 2003. For the full year, I hardly took a break. I would have taken 2 days off. Most of the public holidays I used to be in office. I would have worked for all the Saturdays. I would have worked for at least 20 of the 52 Sundays. My life was really, really tough at that point of time, because the company where I was working at that point of time was going through its own set of challenges. The business was very challenged. There was a particular time when my wife was serious in a hospital, but I still went to work on all the days because it was a very, very important deliverable. So I'd have taken it slow is what I feel. On the personal side, I wouldn't have over-indexed on my investment in real estate.
Great. So Deepak, there are a lot of Gen Zs watching this. So what would be your advice to them? What should they do differently to reach to a level where you are? Because I think people aspire to reach that level. Starting from humble beginnings and getting here is difficult and is encouraging for us. So please let us know what is your advice for them?
I think the most important thing I'll say is balance your screen time with real world interactions, because that is very critical, because a lot of us are actually immersed in our mobiles. I think embrace continuous learning. That's the second advice which I'll give all youngsters. Take care of yourself, both mental and physical. I think connect with youngsters, connect with teams, connect with people who are like-minded, and collaborate well in your office environment, because collaboration actually will help us reach that goal. Last but not the least, follow your passion, values, goals, and then it will help you discover, see what motivates you. This is the advice which I'll give youngsters.
Great, Deepak. Thank you so much, Deepak. We have reached the end of this podcast right now, and it was so great knowing you and your journey. I think a lot of us have got motivated. Reaching here is difficult and encouraging, and so I think really thankful and grateful for making time and coming here and motivating people who are watching. Thank you so much.
Yeah, always welcome, Tulika, and wishing you this podcast all the best.
Audio Jungle.